So, you know what's cool?
What?
The only thing we can be sure of.
What's that? What is the only thing we can be sure of?
Good question.
Thank you.
Almost as if I led you right to the question. But if you think of it, right? If you think of it as how many things start by thinking of it, of said thing. What is? Let's try to strip down the things that you can't be sure of, right? You can't be sure of, the whole simulation theory, and yeah, everybody knows about it.
Super big, yeah. I thought we were starting small, but okay.
No, let's say you can't be. Let's start small. You can't be sure of my intentions. Let's say,
Yeah.
I could lie about
Shady.
those intentions, right? Or it could be my intentions could be even better than I say that they are.
You can't be sure. You can't be sure anything I'm telling you is true.
Yeah.
We can't be sure that we see the same colors.
Exactly.
Like
You're
the
maybe-
exact same. Like, we just called your blue is actually my red, but I
Yeah.
also called it. Wait, no, I messed that up completely.
Yeah, your blue is my dark blue. Your dark blue is my light blue.
No.
But
My blue is. Your blue is actually my red, but I
Yeah.
call it blue anyway.
yeah,
That sort of
exactly.
thing, right?
So we see colors differently, but we just call it the same thing, and there's no way to
And
find
then
out.
everyone thinks, they're seeing the same thing. But
Yeah.
and there's no way to find out. We can't be sure of it.
Exactly. So you can't be sure of that. You can't be sure of, let's say, the color of things. You can't be sure that, let's say, something really exists in the way that it exists. Like optical illusions. Let's say, our brain is constantly playing tricks on us to view things in a way that give us a evolutionary advantage, right? Like our whole vision system is made in a way that we perceive things like shadows and everything, right, to give us a competitive advantage against the other animals. All the animals watching.
Watch out, animals.
Yeah, so that's gone, right? Maybe we can have optical illusion. I mean, imagine in the future I have a VR system that's so convincing, right, that it sits as a lens in your eye, and I could show you whatever I want to show you, and you would think that that's reality, just sitting there. So you can't be sure of that.
Exactly.
either.
Your brain shows you. Your brain thinks it sees what it sees, but there's no way to know that what's actually what you're looking at has not
what
been
it is.
altered by your
Yeah.
brain, right? The same way that you don't see your nose. You could be able to see your nose, but your brain just kind of ignores
Blocks
it,
out,
right?
yeah.
So you
So-
can't be sure that what you're seeing is real.
Exactly. Essentially, you, who is Zach, is sitting in a dark skull. Sorry, just stay with me for a second. And the only inputs that you're getting from the outside is your senses, right? And it's forming like a consistent picture of what's outside for you, right? But you're inside, or you're that processing, or let's not get into what you are. But what I'm trying to get to is that you can't be sure of that either, right? So the only thing that I think that you can be sure of is the fact that you are conscious, right? Let's say, like, I can be sure that I'm conscious and I'm having this conscious experience right now. I mean, I don't know if you could argue. I don't think you could argue that consciousness itself is an illusion, because I am having the conscious experience. That's true, right? I can't ever be sure that anything except me is conscious. You make a robot convincing enough, right, that can respond to me perfectly, tell me everything perfectly. I can never know if it's conscious, right? For you, for example, right, I could never know you're conscious. Maybe you're just an advanced robot, maybe I'm the only person playing out this world, and everyone around me is just programmed beings, right? So what I come to is that, okay, I can only be sure of my own consciousness, right? So that's one dimension lowered, right? But what we also got to back then is that you can't even be sure that your past is real.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can't be sure. You can only be sure that you're conscious in this moment, this moment, this moment. Because any
This one.
memory, yeah, exactly. Any memory that you have in your head, there's no being sure that it's a real memory.
Yeah, it could be implanted. It could be that, you know, it could be that.
It could be that you came into existence right this very moment, and then it was just that your brain was configured that way to have those memories.
Yeah, to have those memories that
Mhm.
to make you believe that you experienced all of your past.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? And you have aspirations for the future, and the whole world exists, you know.
Mhm.
Maybe the whole universe doesn't exist, right? But it came into being for the absolute, like, you know, for a second. And it came into being in a way that, you know, the things organize itself, atoms organize itself for there to be a consciousness, for a brain somewhere to experience this thing.
For me. For
Yeah,
me.
or for me.
No, for me. For me to exist and to have this one conscious experience. Maybe one, maybe multiple.
Maybe
But
multiple.
only we can be sure of this one.
Yeah, the
This-
only thing
this-
we can be sure.
This exact one right now.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe like a common rebuttal to this would be that, oh, we can make scientific observations to prove that the world actually exists, or, you know, something actually exists. But none of that. None of that. All of
Take
that
your scientific
is just-
observations.
the atoms maybe organize themselves in a way that, yeah, maybe it led to the perception of a reality which is of that nature that you observed.
Mhm.
Right? It's the perception. But yeah, the only thing that you can ever be sure of, like with absolute certainty, is that I'm here in this moment experiencing
Not that you're here. You're
that I'm not even here.
not
That's
here.
it.
Not even
Oh shit,
here.
not even that?
Not even here. Not even now. Can you experience? Yeah, you're now.
Now is the-
experiencing. You're now experiencing. That's
now
it.
experiencing for a infinitesimally small amount of time,
Hmm.
which appears to be right now.
No.
Oh, it's
no,
gone now.
No. No.
Oh,
No.
it's
No.
gone
No.
now.
No. 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 No.
So
Can we be sure of the future? We can't be sure of the past. Can we be sure of the future?
no, because the universe could collapse into, you know, maybe it just, so you were saying like it just came into being right this instance.
Hmm.
It could collapse right away, right? But
I hope that. No.
but the thing is, like, I'm always experiencing the present, right? That means that present, or whatever that is happening at the present. There's no future. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like
The present becomes the future. The present becomes
the
And
future
then-
becomes
and-
the now.
the future becomes the present, and the present becomes the past. So they're all present.
Yeah, but the present never. If you're assuming that the present is the only moment that existed because of this, then yeah, okay, there was no past,
Mm-hmm.
and there is no. But the problem that I'm having thinking of this is that if you're saying the future also doesn't exist because you were just an instantaneous, right, speck of time, right? That is what I'm experiencing now, and also now. You know, maybe the previous now was the memory, right? But now is happening now. You know, like it's happening right this present moment. And what happens to the future then? Is it that, you know, it came into being for a speck, and then I experienced that speck, and it's over? And now nothing exists? Or it is that... Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... The problem with this is that as if nothing exists, you know? But as soon as something exists, the concept of past and future comes into being. In our understanding of it, at least. Right?
Yeah. Because when does the future start, right?
That's the question.
If you come into existence in this right now, when does the future start? When does it
start?
When does it become past? How long does the now go on?
Asking the real questions
All
around
the
here.
real questions, man.
The beginning. It is not. It is not the end. Neither is it. I'm not sure exactly how it goes. It's neither is it the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning. I'm really not sure where this comes from.
I don't know
came
why you're
across it
saying
on
it
some
if
Reddit,
I'm
but-
honest.
But so to summarize, the only thing that you can be absolutely sure of is that you exist, or not even
You are experiencing
Yeah,
the now. That's the only thing. And the now is so small, isn't that so ridiculous? The now that you can be sure of is
Yes.
so tiny.
yeah.
And
So you can be sure that you're conscious for at least an instant.
at most an instant. You can be sure.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can be sure of.
At most.
You can be sure of only that.
But what's amazing is that everything that we believe that exists, it could very well exist,
Could.
It could.
It could. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the
I'm
only
not
thing
saying
we're
that it
sure of-
doesn't exist, but we just can't be sure that
It's
it exists.
it's baffling to me how everything's baffling that out of everything that is out there that we believe that exists, the only thing that we can be sure of is not the physical things. We believe that the physical things and all of this stuff exist, but the thing that turns out that we can be sure of is not even physical. It's
Experience.
the most metaphysical we can be, and while staying within the science of the realm of science of we know that okay, this is provable by experimentation that I don't even know if conscious, but like we're for sure that consciousness exists, and all the other material things that we think of are the main things. Can't even be sure that they exist.
Yeah. It's always been like, the object, the physical thing is, it's like, it's solid.
it's solid.
It's solid. It has to be there. But no, you can't.
You could be in like dark space, like just an instance of consciousness somewhere.
You just be like, dark space.
Dark
There's no-
space going like
No, you're
Your conscience?
your being. Just
before or after or during that instant.
I don't know. I don't know how long.
Wow. But it's amazing how the depth of information that has occurred to this one conscious instance is pretty astounding.
The depth of information,
Yeah,
the amount of
like
information.
this whole picture that's been built around like I'm me, I'm this.
That's true. If you really did come into existence right now, that's a lot of stuff that has been,
Yeah.
all
right.
these memories I've had for like 27 years.
Yeah. But it's possible. It's
possible, yeah.
It's the only thing you can be sure of. I would.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool.
It is cool.